OTAs begin this week for the Eagles. What are the big storylines to watch? Zack Berman tells us next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, presented by TrueMark Financial. It's Bo Wulf, it's Zack Berman, and it is Eagles OTAs week. Zack, we got football.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Sort of.
I can't wait.
Kind
Excited.
of.
What was the accent for? What was there an impetus for that? The green shirt?
I mean, sometimes you hit a little pocket of feeling good about the accent, and you can't let it go to waste.
You roll with it. Yeah, this is a big week. OTA week. Get to see them on the field. Look forward to that. Don't overreact. Don't underreact. Just react appropriately. Looking forward to that.
You got any good accents in your holster? You doing any accent work when you're reading stories with the kids?
I mean, I read in the, I wouldn't say accents. I read in the voices of whoever.
Yeah, you do voices.
I do voices. I have a bit of a Philadelphia accent, so I think if anything, I'm trying to speak in less of an accent, right? I remember when I was in high school. Oh, I'm sorry, not high school, college, and working at the college radio station, and they're like, "You want to speak like you're from the Midwest? It appeals everywhere, right?" And I was like, "I want to work in Philadelphia. I should talk like I'm from Philadelphia, right?" But they try to drill that out of you, and I never quite got that out of me.
Trying to make everybody the same. You don't want that. You got to have your own individuality. You got to have your own flair.
Also, you need to know what you want to be one among the people that you're speaking with. You don't want to speak to them. You want to speak with them, right?
Oh, and I imagine their point was this way you can get a job anywhere.
Anywhere.
But you didn't want a job anywhere. You wanted a job in Philadelphia.
I wanted a job in Philadelphia. I was the rare person. I worked in Washington, New York, and I just wanted to be in Philly. They used to be like, "Why do you want to go to Philly?" I say, "Why don't I want to go to Philly? It's the best sports city in the world."
There you go.
Thrilled to be here now. Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
We got plenty to talk about. Tell the viewers, the listeners, what is exactly the operating procedure for the Eagles this week? What does their week look like, and what do we get to see of it?
Yeah, so the Eagles are on the field today for the first day of OTAs. They're on the field tomorrow for OTAs when we will be there, and they're on the field Friday for OTAs. We will get to watch the entirety of practice tomorrow. Now, I want to say this is not like a training camp practice. OTAs, you're limited mainly to like 7-on-7, 9-on-7. You're not really getting the full teamwork that you would.
They're not in pads.
They're not in pads. Mandatory minicamp, you're allowed to do more. The thing with that is they only have one day of mandatory minicamp this year. But
for now,
it still is football. So that's the cool thing.
That's debatable.
It's a version of football. There's they're throwing a football. They're catching a football. They're in uniform.
It's still the Eagles.
It's still the Eagles
practicing to eventually play football.
Practicing to eventually play football. It's more of we'll get to it when we talk about positions. It's more of a passing camp than anything else. So you're not reading as much from the O-line, D-line. You always hear them say, "We'll find out more when the pads come on." But the linebackers, the off-ball linebackers, I should say, the safeties, the corners, you learn some there. Wide receivers, you learn some there. Running backs catching the ball out of the backfield. And then it's just, we'll have a chance to speak to Kevin Patul tomorrow for the first time since he's been promoted to offensive coordinator. So it's a good chance in a laid-back environment to get a chance to catch up with some of these guys. I don't want to be one of these reporters who's like, well, back in the old days, right? So I'm not going to do that. There was a time when we were around them more during this time of year. You're in the locker room. You get to see more OTAs. And so it was more laid back than it is now.
I remember having a great conversation with Anthony Mahangu back in those days.
Exactly. Now you wouldn't get a chance to speak to Anthony Mahangu.
No.
It's a shame because Anthony Mahangu has a great story to be told.
Right.
So I mean, if Eagles PR is watching this or listening to this, I would say I think that you sometimes do a disservice to some of your players because some of these guys, like it's a chance to get their stories told. I understand. Look, Jalen Hurts is going to have a media crush. I get that, but A.J. Dillon has a cool story to be told. Anais Smith has a cool story to be told. You go on down the list, and so I think that
they're going to tell the Lance Dunn story,
Exactly. Yeah, Max and Hook. People want to talk about the Max and Hook.
I mean, you want to talk about a guy who's going to bring in readers.
Hook him in.
Max, he's got the Max Hook.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a lead that is.
Holland Pierce. You can talk to Danny Gray. There's so many interesting stories here. And, but you know what? Yeah, you do the best with what you have. And tomorrow we'll speak to Kevin Patullo and a few other players in press conference settings, and we'll report the best. We'll report what we know to you.
Here's one question for you.
Yes.
Before we get to the main part of the show, which is going to be going through position by position, the storyline that we are watching over the next couple weeks when we see these guys on the field. You often hear sometimes, and some of this may be made up or retrofitted, but you often hear about, for good or bad, we didn't really know until he got in the building. And sometimes this is like a guy who turned out to be a first-round pick that did not go well, and it's like, ooh, right away we realized that this guy was not who we thought he was. Or it's a sixth-round pick who comes in, and they're like, oh man, this guy's way ahead of schedule. What is your understanding of how that works, and does it have anything to do with what is actually on the field? It's
a good question. I think it has more to do with the body and the movement than anything else, right? I mean, there's some look, they're scouting these players at the combine. And then your area scouts are there, but the coaches don't get a chance to see these guys on the field until rookie camp, OTAs. You see it sometimes too with players you sign from other teams. And so it's always different when it's happening right in front of you. And so sometimes you get that instant look like, ooh, Donnell Pumphrey is not quite what I thought, right? I think that happened here. There are other times, like last year, I remember watching practice with you, and Zack Baun just looked the part at linebacker, right? He had an interception in the first day we watched, and he was moving well off ball, and you're like, all right, this guy's an off ball linebacker for them. Like this could work. So, but no, you're absolutely right that you see it with your eyes, and you're like, he doesn't move as well as I thought, or he moves better than I thought, or he's not as fluid getting in and out of breaks, things of that nature. Because you're not totally scheming guys up, right? So you're seeing, all right, can this guy beat man coverage? Things of that nature.
I think a lot of that stuff from the team's perspective is about the stuff that happens off the field.
Interesting.
Like you get to see what they're actually like as a worker or in these meeting rooms. And I like the older I get, I feel like the more it turns out how much that stuff matters. I feel like
doesn't or does?
Does matter.
It should.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But I can watch YouTube highlights and see how a guy moves and see his explosive plays. But I have no sense of what they're like how much they are committed to getting the 100th percentile outcome out of their body.
Good point.
And I think you probably don't really know that until you get the guy in the building. And so, that's not something that we're going to get to learn over the next couple of weeks. But I imagine those are the conversations that are happening in the Eagles front office right now. Are like, okay, what has Drew Mukuba been like?
Sure, great point.
In the weight room and in the meeting rooms the past couple of weeks.
Great point. And you want it to be authentic too, right? Sometimes the agents will tell them be the first one in, the last guy out, but you can tell by the questions that they ask, by how well they're actually synthesizing what is said in these meetings, taking it from the meeting room to the field, from the film room to the field, if their mistakes are being corrected, things of that nature. So that's a great point.
Okay, let's get into it. Passing camp. Let's start at quarterback. Where else would you start? What do you think is the most interesting thing to follow at quarterback over the next few weeks?
Well, big picture with the quarterback is how they look as a passing offense. And I say that because they were out of sync up until December last year, right? I mean, they said that. After that Panthers game, DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts said, we need to get on the same page, right? And
but Jalen Hurts didn't throw an interception until the last day of training camp last year.
Yeah, that's a good point. So how much can transfer over?
Is that a good point?
It shows you can only take so much from this time of year. But yeah, I want to see how they look. You have it's Kevin Patullo's first summer or spring rather as offensive coordinator. So if the offense looks different than it did last year, if there's variations to it than to what they had last year. So big picture of that. But then I think we haven't seen Kyle McCord yet. And so I think the QB3 competition is going to be fun to monitor.
I think so too. How does the ball come out of Kyle McCord's hands? And listen, this is not the way that this is repetitive. You have heard me say this before, but I think the important framing for stuff like this is nobody's winning anything right now.
Yes.
But you can sort of lose a little bit.
Sure.
And you can not check the box. And so I can remember when the Eagles brought in a 5th round pick who right away did not look the part.
Clayton Thorson?
Clorpen Fippen.
Yeah, Clayton Thorson is his name.
Clapson Thripu.
Clayton Thorson. Clayton Thorson.
Clayton Ripson.
Clayton Thorson.
Thornton.
I don't know why I have to keep.
I just don't remember. And you could tell right away. So I want to see what the ball looks like coming out of Kyle McCord's hands. And at the same time, I want to see what it looks like coming out of Dorian Thompson-Robinson's hands. Because the book on him is that he's more of an athletic player at quarterback than a passer. But in a passing camp, what does he look like? Has he been able to, with that intelligent chess mind of his, soak up the offense and get things out on time?
Still can't wait for the game you guys play.
Have a little tournament.
Yeah.
Me, him, Saquon.
Jalen.
Moro Ajema. Does Jalen play?
Yeah, that's him and Thompson Robinson had the same chess coach.
Oh, that's right.
I made the mistake. Yeah, chess coach. Yeah.
That's right.
Seth.
Wickersham.
No, I'd be envious of that. It begins with an M.
Beer.
No, I think it's like Seth Milvorsky. It might be the name.
Well, now who's making up names?
Let me see. Seth Chess. Jalen Hurts.
Clapson Seth.
Seth Mikowski.
Mukuba.
No, Mikowski. Seth Mikowski.
Okay.
Works with other NFL quarterbacks. Uses chess as a mental training tool to help players.
So
focus.
It's less about he's not really teaching them chess, as he's using chess as a means of helping them process as a football player.
Yeah, Reed's playing chess now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's learning it. He's getting better.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We played checkers also this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, mean game of checkers.
Take you down?
It was a draw.
Was a draw?
It was a draw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You only played the one? You didn't break the tie?
I mean, the game lasted like 30 minutes. Yes. By that point, I was like, let's move on to something else.
Wow.
I'm more chess, not checkers.
So were you learning chess to play with Reed?
I know chess, Bo. I can play chess.
You know chess?
You don't think I can play chess?
You've never mentioned it before.
It's never come up in conversation.
We talk about chess all the time.
Yeah, I like to butter you up.
Okay, but
this show's not meant to butter me up. The show's meant to butter you up. I'm decent. I used to be better than I am now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm decent.
Okay.
I'm better when I'm the first move than the second move. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm decent.
Okay. You ever play on your phone?
I have played on my phone. I prefer the board, but I have played on my phone.
And how does it go with you and Reed?
I mean, right now I'm better than Reed at chess, but I hope soon enough he'll beat me at chess.
Casey is learning how to play as well, and Rachel asked me who won one time. I was like, Rachel,
you offended?
Yes. Okay. Like, who won? It's like
would you ever
who
let
won
him
the
win?
spelling contest?
And so would you let him win?
No.
Okay, this is a big debate that my father-in-law and I have.
I would let him win in other things.
Okay, just not chess. Pride's on the line.
Well, if it's like something where I'm teaching him, I wouldn't let him beat me in Connect 4.
You show him.
He's got to learn because he's got to learn by watching.
So you know what I'll do? I'll say, I'm sorry we're deviating here, but I suppose people enjoy this. I'll say, Reed, are you sure you want to make that move?
I will talk through moves with him.
Yeah, that's
and
what
I'll say,
do.
This is why I'm doing this, or
and
this
he'll
is
be
why
like,
you should do this or shouldn't do that.
And I'll say, if you do this, then I do this, then you do this, then I do this. And then he says, oh, okay. How do you know that? And I say, you play it enough, you start to see the board.
Okay. We should do that for a VOD. You and I play chess.
I don't think so.
I think that'd be fun
I don't think it'd be an interesting VOD. I think.
Okay, let us know in the comments if you think that you would like to see a VOD of me and Zach playing chess together.
Anyways,
you can let me win.
Yeah, I'll let you win for the sake of the show.
To butter me up.
For the sake of the show. For the sake of the show.
Okay. All right, let's talk running backs. Now, running backs, tough in this situation.
Sure.
They're obviously not running the ball,
No.
so you're more focused on, what do they do in the passing game? What's interesting to you here?
Well, Will Shipley's development in year 2. He's going to be the second backup. But I do want to...
the first backup.
First backup, second back to go.
I see what you're saying. Second back up.
Yes, up in the drill.
There's a space there. Got it.
Second back.
Okay, yeah, you
up
were
in
right.
the drill. And I got to say, though, I'm fascinated by A.J. Dillon.
What is this dainty water bottle that you have? This thing is tiny compared to what I normally see.
Yeah, but I took the tag off. I didn't want the free advertising.
Nice.
So in the car, I was thinking, right? I mean, there's a lot of good water companies out there.
Great water companies out there, yeah.
Yeah, you're free to advertise on PHLY. I don't need to give you the free endorsement.
Nice.
So
a lot of votes, it seems like, in the live chat, at least, for
of course,
the chess game.
Of course, people watching want to know it, but
okay.
The whole thing, I mean, I don't want just the
but truly, this is very little upside for me, because if I win, I'm supposed to win. If I lose, that's a disaster.
True.
So you're a Chaminade here.
I mean, I would want you to win. I don't want you to be ornery on the show. So yes. So
I think I would wear that well.
Yeah. AJ Dillon.
I would immediately ask for a rematch, but
sure.
I think I would wear it well.
AJ Dillon.
Okay.
Are you curious about AJ Dillon? Do you want to see AJ Dillon out there? You want to see?
I want to see if his limbs are still attached.
His limbs are.
But I think this particular setting is not really the one for AJ Dillon to make a mark,
because it's not like a knee injury. He's come back from a neck injury, so you want to see how he takes contact when that.
And
comes.
Even if he were 100% healthy, this is not the
format as the power runner,
the kind of back that he is. I kind of want to see if Shunderick Powell has any juice, because as an undersized player, with some athletic upside, this is when I want to see him. Like I want to see how he moves. Like I think that Montrell Johnson probably has a better chance of making the team. And I'm curious to see him in the summer. But right now, in this setting, I want to see Shunderick Powell. Show me a little something.
I like that.
Do we have like Adrian Killen's level juice?
Is that a compliment?
In this setting, it is. In the spring setting, it is.
Adrian Killen's level juice. I like that a lot. Now, your boy, Lou Nichols, though. I mean, look.
New World Order, baby.
It is...
Listen, he's still here.
It's a matter of fact.
A lot of people counted him out.
That's what
Didn't
I'm saying.
think he was going to still be around.
Ty Davis Price, my guy.
Yeah.
In this.
TVP?
They sent TVP packing, and they bring in, and they keep Lou Nichols. So Lou Nichols, look, A.J. Dillon's not guaranteed to be on the roster. That number 3 spot is open. And Lou Nichols could poach it.
Man, if Lou Nichols makes the team this year, what a long arc of history that would be for the runner-up in the Camp Crush to E.J. Jenkins.
What a long arc in history. That's true. Yeah. So no, but and we haven't mentioned Saquon. There's nothing that I need to see from Saquon Barkley between now and September 4th. By the way, September 4th.
Stay alive.
100 days away.
Oof. It's a little depressing.
Depressing?
A little bit.
Oh, that's exciting. It's single digits starting tomorrow till football. I can't wait. Seriously?
I will be happy when it's here, but
what's depressing about
soon.
that?
It's too soon.
Too soon. It's not soon enough. I mean, the countdown I have.
Your poor family.
The countdown I have is the amount of shows we have until training camp begins.
Yeah. What are we at?
Right. So after the draft, we're at 50. And so we're probably at, I had to look at the countdown again.
35 or whatever it is. Something like that.
Yeah. We're, so that's the countdown I have, but I'm eager for.
So 35 left. So we've got, we'll have a couple OTAs to actually cover. We'll have the Super Bowl rosters draft.
Yes.
We'll have the NFL 1 per team draft. We'll have the strip chess
episode. No, but we have some Tic-Zac bows in there.
Some Tic-Zac bows, and that's maybe we make the chess a whole week of shows. We just do 5 chess shows.
You got fraternity in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm counting on 5 chess shows.
Yeah. Here, I can actually tell you exactly how many shows we have, but that's actually not good for the show. But no, we had. So there's nothing I need to see from Saquon.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'll be nice to see him there and catch up with him.
I mean, you saw him in the office the other week.
I know. It was great.
Yeah. It was very complimentary of the digs.
He didn't see the mice.
He did not see the mice. Which is a good reminder. If you're a pest control company out there, would you like to sponsor on the show? We are open for business. Somebody come and save us, please. And with that, we'll hear from our actual sponsors. Starting with Monarch Money. Finances. There was a clue in the crossword puzzle either today or yesterday, and it was divorces and meals can be this. And you know what the clue? You know what the word was?
Divorces and meals can be this.
Yeah.
Cold.
Messy. Just like finances can be messy and confusing. Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. Just like those Nick Sirianni flowers, baby. Let your finances bloom with Monarch Money. Monarch Money is more than the average budgeting app. Instead, it is a complete financial command center for your accounts, investments, and goals. Don't just manage your money. Start building wealth with 50% off your first year just for PHLY listeners. Start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. Monarch makes managing money simple, even for busy lives. Monarch was named the Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025, the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 30,000 five-star reviews. Financial stress is one of the top reasons relationships fall apart. Monarch makes money conversations easier. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That is 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY.
The great thing about May 27th is that we're one day closer to football season. The bad thing about May 27th is we're one day past that wonderful Memorial Day sale at Ashley, South Jersey, and Philadelphia. But make sure you still go to Ashley in South Jersey and Philadelphia because they have amazing savings on beautiful outdoor furniture. They have 60 months of special financing. You can have all of your furniture delivered locally free of charge. Plus, with your qualifying purchase, you get a free gift. This time of year when it's nice outside, you want to sit outside, but you want some good outdoor furniture to sit on, right? And the place to turn for that is Ashley. Ashley has the best outdoor furniture. Plus, you know what? Maybe you're not sleeping great at night, and you're like, maybe the mattress is the problem. But you can save on top brand mattresses and get free local delivery, setup, and removal at Ashley. Ashley, South Jersey, and Philadelphia. Financing with approved credit. Minimum purchase required. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. By the way, after today's show, 37 shows until the week training camp begins.
Okay.
So 37.
How do you feel about that number?
I can't wait till it's 36 and 35. And I'm counting down, but I'm excited. You know, it gives us 37 shows to really, or 37 opportunities to have great shows. And then once training camp begins, the stories write themselves. The shows basically do themselves at that point.
Who needs you? Who needs me? They just do themselves. That's AI. I'm really trying to bite my tongue to not spend the rest of the show on AI.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get to tight end.
Yes.
We'll save wide receiver for after that. Dallas Goedert is back.
Yeah.
Do you think Dallas Goedert is happy to be back?
I think Dallas Goedert
has a little bit chip on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, I mean, I imagine
like Josh Sweat last year. This is the biggest moment of my life.
Yeah, look, I think it's a great question, Bo, because I think there's the personal side of it and there's the business side of it. I genuinely think that Dallas Goedert wants to be here with the Eagles, right? Yeah, I think it's like there's people who change jobs because of money, but like you are happy with the job you had before, and it's like you don't want to leave, but the money's better somewhere else, right? And so Dallas Goedert was probably facing that. Like the business side of it was, well, he feels like he wants a better contract, right? The personal side of it is He likes the people that he works with. He likes, the people that he works for. And so I think that there's a part of Dallas Goedert, where he's happy. I think he'll enjoy coming to work playing football for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he probably wishes he was compensated more to play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's a fair emotion to have.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's happy to be back with his teammates.
Yeah.
And probably might feel some kind of way about the front office.
Exactly. Probably no different than Zach Ertz going into Zach Ertz's last year, right?
There you go. Okay, so Dallas Goedert is here. Grant Calcaterra is back. We got Kylan Granson and Harrison Bryant as the new guys. We got EJ Jenkins making plays all over the field. He owns this time of year. Mm-hmm. What are you most interested in seeing?
Yeah, most interested in seeing the new guys, Harrison Bryant and Kylan Granson. I think Grant Calcaterra is the number 2 tight end, but I don't know if that's entrenched.
Do you think there's any chance that both of those guys take his spot?
I don't think take his spot, but I think that
it's unlikely to.
There's a chance Calcaterra maybe slips to like 2B.
Okay. Or not to be.
If Harrison Bryant shows some juice, or if Kylan Granson shows some juice. The reason I didn't say Kylan Granson, I think there's some duplication between Granson and Calcaterra, right? In terms of the skill set.
Both billed as better receivers than blockers.
Yeah, Harrison Bryant, in terms of the size, in terms of the playing style, maybe a little bit different. Good age profile too. So that's someone that I think I'm paying close attention to Harrison Bryant in particular.
Okay. Now, to the point that we've had about what these camps are like, I feel like we will probably see a little bit more of what Granson has. But if Bryant flashes, all the better.
Yeah. I think you're gonna like Harrison Bryant more than you.
I'm not anti-Harrison Bryant.
No, but
you and I were the ones. I thought wasn't this the thing that we were teammates on?
Oh, Harrison.
Fran went Granson, and you and I went Harrison Bryant, and this is where the Bryant Bros.
Yeah, that's true. But I think you're gonna enjoy.
You and me, baby.
I think
we're riding this. I think don't try to big D me on Harrison Bryant. We're on the same page.
I think you're gonna enjoy.
Don't make this a fight.
I think
this is the one thing we agree on.
Not the one thing, but I think you're going to enjoy the Harrison Bryant experience.
Why? Why do you say that?
No,
it's like you have a reporting tip about a thing that it's not a fact. It's just what's he going to look like?
I think you're going to watch. I think you're going to think that he's serviceable in multiple ways. I think.
I'm going to really enjoy the serviceable experience.
Yeah, I think you're going to be like, you know what, guys, don't sleep on Harrison Bryant.
This is the strongest take you've had.
This is the strongest take. I think. I think that you'll be on a show on.
Something tells me you're going to enjoy the Harrison Bryant experience.
I think you'll be on the show.
What's he going to do?
I think you'll be on the show on August 19th. And you'll be like, you know what? Pay attention to Harrison Bryant. I like what I've seen. Yeah. I think that's going to happen.
First of all, that's way too late. That's like 3 weeks into camp.
Sure, but it's after some preseason games. You're gonna pick up on some things that
only you know about right now?
No. That the general fan is. You're going to be like, you know what? I grinded the film from that game. And Harrison Bryant can have a role on this team this year. August 19th. Write that down. August 19th.
Your worst prediction ever. But for some reason, this the strongest opinion you have. I like it.
August 19th. That's
you and me, baby. The Bryant Bros.
That's a Wednesday. So Wednesday, August 19th. You're going to talk about Harrison Bryant on that show.
Okay.
All
right. Wide receiver.
Oh, this is a fun one.
AJ and DeVonta, whatever. Yeah. They're awesome. Stay alive.
DeVonta, by the way. Yeah,
okay.
He has this YouTube channel, and it's like he drops a film of the offseason. I'm so excited for some behind-the-scenes footage. I need a little more from that video. DeVonta, I was hoping for a little more. AJ blew it out of the gym. AJ's YouTube channel had this amazing Q&A that he gave. Great insight. DeVonta's YouTube, I thought, I really enjoyed DeVonta, and I think that there's a lot more there that I wanted him to show, and didn't get enough from that video.
There's a way to read what you just said as asking for nudity, which I know is not what you meant.
No, that's definitely not at all.
Is a possible. Art does not belong to the artist alone.
No.
It's open to
No.
interpretation.
This is my issue. It was him working out with clips of commentators talking over, and what I wanted was.
Oh, you're mad that we weren't one of the commentators?
No. I wanted more of the behind the scenes footage. I wanted, I wanted to be like Hard Knocks or Unscripted. Right? I wanted you to give me some footage or some insight that I don't typically get.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you bring it up to him.
I will. I mean, DeVonta and I have had some good conversations over the years. So.
Okay. Wonderful. Those two guys aside, what's interesting to you about wide receiver, where we're going to actually get to see these guys?
Yes, you and I are going to disagree on this one. Jihaad Dotson. I'm in on the Jihaad Dotson experience this summer.
Well, I don't think we disagree that he's an important player to watch. I think our expectations are different.
Sure. So I want to see Jihaad Dotson in practice settings. I haven't seen Jihaad Dotson in practice settings other than the first 20, 30 minutes. By the time they acquired him last year, the Eagles were already in game plan mode. I understand this offense, the number 3 receiver is not going to be used the way he is in some other offenses. By virtue of having A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, he'll never be, if he touches the ball, it's the 5th guy you want to touch the ball. It's just the reality of this offense. But I think that there's more to Jihaad Dotson than what we saw last year. Particularly, Jihaad did not take advantage of the opportunity when AJ and DeVonta were banged up in the first month of the year. And perhaps that was because he had just came to the team. But I thought week 18, he showed some flashes out there against Adoree Jackson nonetheless. And then I thought he had a few nice plays in the postseason. And I want to see Jihaad Dotson now with a full offseason. In the chat, they say Dotson can't play. I disagree. I think Dotson can play, and I think he will play.
We went over the numbers the other week.
Yes.
His per route efficiency numbers are among the worst in the NFL over the course of his career. Even if you discount last year, it hasn't been very good. And the truth is that, we talk about defensive tackle like it's a development position. People sometimes have long arcs at that position. That is not the case at wide receiver.
That's fair.
Generally speaking, wide receivers are either good early in their first 2 years or they're just not very good.
Mm-hmm.
So reasonably, I don't think you should expect much from Jihaad Dotson. That said, of course, he could pop. He's got tools in his body. He's only 25 years old. And there is an opportunity, you would think, where he's going to get to face the weakest defender on every secondary. And if Jalen Hurts is willing to throw the ball his way, great. He did it in the Super Bowl, and he had his best game of the season in the Super Bowl. So you would think that is a nice landing spot. If he looks great, that would change what the offense can do.
Sure.
So yeah, he is absolutely kind of a real variable for the outcomes for this offense this season.
Well said.
And then past that, I am really interested to see what Aniyah Smith looks like.
Yep.
After not looking the part last year, does he come back with some juice? Because he did not look like he had it last summer. And then, of course, just the mystery box of there's all these other wide receivers we've never seen in person before. What do they look like? Can Terrace Marshall buck that same development trend? Danny Gray, after getting all the gas that you gave him, and the guys in the locker room were giving him for what he looked like in practice last season. Can he look great?
Yeah.
Any of these undrafted guys, Elijah Cooks. Let's see who pops.
Agree. Danny Gray is definitely a player that I think fans should pay attention to.
Broadway Danny Gray.
Former 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, the 49ers. So that's like direct to Eagles pipeline.
Direct to Eagles pipeline.
Yeah,
True.
There you go. Okay. Offensive line.
Yes.
Not the time that we're going to get to learn much about how these guys play, more about where they line up, I think.
And where they line up and who's not practicing as well.
Such as?
Well, Jurgens and Dickerson are coming off injury. And so, so then how that affects the rest of the line of scrimmage.
Okay. Yeah, I think obviously we want to see who's at right guard right now. Is your guess that it will be Tyler Steen or Quinyon Green?
I think first day, Tyler Steen.
Yeah.
First day, Tyler Steen. My guess is that left guard will be Trevor Keegan if Dickerson's not out there. But I do want to see. I'm going with Quinyon Green. I think Quinyon Green's going to win that job. But first day, I think it's going to be Tyler Steen.
Okay. And then there are some other players where you just sort of want to see where they're lining up. Like, I imagine Drew Kendall will be at center.
Yes.
But it's possible he could be at guard. Which side are those big day 3 offensive tackles lining up? Where's Matt Pryor lining up?
Yeah, do you think guard or tackle? What do you think?
I think guard.
Okay.
For Pryor. What about you?
Yeah, probably guard.
I think you've got probably Kennard and Lamb as the backup tackles and Pryor. Maybe if it's not Keegan, it's Pryor. But then there's an extra spot. There's one extra player for the obvious second team offensive line, so it'll be curious to see who gets bumped.
Well said.
Debatable.
And then you probably want to see Holland Pierce in person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big dude, long arms.
Yeah, you had really strong Holland Pierce takes last week.
I had strong Holland Pierce takes?
Yeah, you came into the press conference and you castigated another reporter. You said, "Hey,
I didn't castigate.
You listen to me." You grabbed him by the scruff of his neck.
I didn't castigate.
Hey, I have a problem with what you said about Holland Pierce on your show 2 days ago.
I didn't castigate, number one. First off.
And then you flipped him.
I think it's flattering.
Punted him out of the room.
I would think it's flattering whenever somebody listens to your shows. If someone came up to me, and they have, by the way, I want to bring up this point. It's amazing. It means someone's listening and synthesizing. There was I was disagreeing with a reporter who thought that Holland Pierce's agent.
I thought we were going to have to separate you guys.
Holland Pierce's agent shouldn't have sent him to the Eagles because he's like buried down the depth chart. And my point was, I think if you're an undrafted rookie, this is a great place to come for 3 reasons. Number one, you get to work under Jeff Stoutland, who has proven to be as good of an offensive line coach as there is. Number two, the Eagles have a history of keeping offensive linemen, okay? And I'm sorry, of keeping undrafted rookies, right? But then the third thing, and this is most important, the Eagles don't play their starters in the preseason. I think if you're an undrafted player, what you're looking for is good preseason film.
Sure.
And it's what coaches always tell you. You're not just trying to make your roster. You're auditioning for 32 other teams, or 31 other teams rather. So that's kind of my big thing, is that where you're trying to find a situation where, all right, this player has the best chance of kind of developing. Obviously, making the team's important, but whenever you're an undrafted tackle, there's never going to be a spot where you're just going to be lining up with the starters day one. So It's like you want to go to a place where it's best for your future long term. And I know for a fact agents want to send their offensive linemen here to Philly.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that was the right take, and I'm glad that you shook down Adam Schefter and yelled at him about that. He deserved it. He had it coming. Always punch up.
Like Adam. Quite a bit.
Okay, let's talk edge. Let's flip it over to the defensive side of the ball.
A lot to watch for with edge rushers.
A lot to watch. Not that we will get to see a ton that matters in this setting, but what other things that you this is a position of real interest, but in this setting, what is interesting to you?
Yeah, well, first off, when we talk about injuries, we should know it's Nolan Smith coming off injury, right? So we don't know if he's going to be out there. But Alex Hunt, I mean, we'll do a show at some point here, like our breakout candidates, and Alex Hunt might be the thumbnail for that. Him, Moro Ojima, Keely Ringo, they'll all compete for that thumbnail. Maybe we'll do like 3 people in there. There's other people we can put in that. We can put Quinyon Green. I mean, I don't want to do the show.
Anybody.
I don't want to do the show before the show.
Yeah.
But Alex Hunt has a chance to break out, and I want to see him out there. I thought he really grew as the year went on. He has a chance to be a starter day one.
How tall is he now?
6'5". Yeah.
And what was he before?
Grew in terms of his development.
Got it.
Developed in year one. He made such strides. Now you have a full offseason to kind of refine your body. I think I'm expecting a sophomore jump from Alex Hunt. And if you remember, one of the things the Eagles talked about when they drafted him was the conversation was, what would this guy be 2-3 years from now, right? Over 2 years. We're 2 years from that statement. So
we're actually a year from that statement, but
no, 2 seasons. I think they meant. So we're in that second season. So what's he like now? Well, I'm fascinated to see Alex Hunt.
Okay.
There's other notes, but
I mean, I'm excited about Jalen Hurts or Alex Hunt this season. I don't know that I'm going to see that much over the next 2 weeks.
Sure.
It's, first of all, is Bryce Huff here?
Yeah. Do you think he's going to skip it?
It's still voluntary, right?
It is voluntary. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Is he here? Are he and Vic Fangio on speaking terms? I don't understand. I don't know. But what does he look like? Does he look any different? We're not going to get to see him actually rush the passer in this situation,
which is a shame because he's not very good at dropping into coverage. But we won't see him in that.
I told you to punch up, not punch down.
I don't punch.
Josh Uche, Now, Azeez Ojulari is more of an injury question mark.
Yes.
Uche, we talked about, like, is there a chance that he's going to get off-ball reps? That could be interesting. We would see that now. Other than that, you know, I want to see, like, body type-wise, Antoine Powell-Ryland. What does he look like?
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm curious, too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
It is.
Else?
It's an unsettled spot. Bryce Huff. So, by the way, I have a piece up on allphly.com right now. 17 things that I'm looking to watch in OTAs during the next few days, and Bryce Huff is on there in terms of, is Bryce Huff this year's James Bradbury, or is he the type of player he just needed that first year? I don't want to say like Tim Jernigan. I'm sorry, not Tim Jernigan. Like Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave was productive his first year, but it took Javon Hargrave a year to really get comfortable. And then by year 2, Javon Hargrave was really good. Was a difference maker for the Eagles. And so was Bryce Huff, whether it was the contract, the adjustment, everything was happening so quickly, then the injury, and now he kind of gets his feet underneath him. There's probably less pressure on them. There's less expected of him this year, so maybe he'll do better in that situation. So certainly interested in seeing him there. And then, yeah, you're right. Azeez Ojulari, you can only see so much this time of year, so we're not going to see him rush the quarterback. But I think he's someone who, from like a movement perspective, it'd be fun to watch him in person. As
the offseason moves along, have your turkeys moved at all on whether Bryce Huff is going to be a member of the 2025 Eagles?
Well, I think you had a better read on it than I did in the Flu World Order. I don't think he's certain to be back. I think this could be, if you look at it just contract-wise, I mean, the money's guaranteed no matter what, but from cap purposes, like trading him is more conducive post-June 1st. I think it's a situation where if an edge rusher goes down somewhere else, the Eagles could move him. But I also think that there's a better chance of him being on the roster than not. And if you just look at our Flu World Order, you were on that much better than Fran and I were.
There's a reason I've won 4 in a row.
Is that what it's been, 4 in a row?
I think something like that.
Awesome.
You can read Zack's piece on allphly.com. If you become a diehard, you see the link there. Also, if you're a diehard, you can get access to the PHLY golf outing, which is at Valleybrook Country Club, coming up on June 14th. It's the second annual PHLY Liberty Open golf tournament. It's a 4-person scramble that includes a limited edition PHLY golf tee, prizes, and post-round dinner, plus draft beer with a great raffle, including Philly memorabilia. Visit allphly.com/events to learn more and purchase an individual or foursome reservation for the tournament. Diehard members are eligible to save $50 on a foursome. Terms and conditions apply. Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile in an all-in-one plan. All right. Now we're going to pay some bills with some external sponsors. Take a quick break. Come back. We're going to talk defensive tackle, linebacker, corner, safety, and obviously long snapper. Okay. TrueMark, our presenting sponsor, the good folks at TrueMark Financial Credit Union. If you are working from home, it's time to stop calling plays from the couch. With the TrueMark Financial HELOC Select, you can tap into your home's equity and finally upgrade that home office, build out a better space, or just finish the projects you have been putting off. With the HELOC Select, you get a great low rate, flexible access. You can pull funds all at once or only when you need them. You get lower rates than most personal loans and no penalties if you pay it off early. Visit TrueMark.com/PHLY to apply and turn your work-from-home game into a winning play. Terms and conditions apply. Visit TrueMark.com. That's TrueMark.com/HELOC, HELOC for details. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender, NMLS 404938.
I can only imagine this happening over the weekend. You're at the bar Memorial Day weekend. You don't have work Monday, Sunday night. You're with your buddies, and you say, someone's picking up the round. And they say, what do you want? You say, a beer. The person says, what beer? You say, well, of course, Pabst Light.
What else?
And so you say, Pabst Light. Why do you want a Pabst Light? And they say, well, it's a modern beer from Pabst Brewing Company, and it only has 96 calories and 3.5 grams of carbs, and it's full of that crisp, refreshing flavor. And your friend says, I didn't realize that. And you say, well, yeah, let me tell you, because they use high-quality ingredients so you can get that high-quality beer at a smart, approachable price. And your friend says, that's amazing because it retains the fun and independent spirit Pabst is known for, but it's light. And you say, exactly. And your friend says, where can I learn more? And you say, well, let me tell you, you can learn more about the new Pabst Light at PabstLight.com. Please drink responsibly. You must be 21 or older.
What a beautiful recollection of a realistic human conversation.
Yeah, well, that happens often. You say,
I hear conversations like that all the time.
Yes. When you say, the person says, oh, I'll have a beer. And you say, what beer do you want? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then last thing to tell you about is, do you want to come to Green Bay to yell at the Packers about the tush push, rub it in their faces, show them your butt like you're Randy Moss, and cheer on the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, and do it with PHLY? Well, then you need to go to allphly.com/PSTFanSweeps, because we are partnering with Philly Sports Trips to host a fan giveaway sweepstakes that will send one lucky listener to Lambeau with 2 tickets on the plane, the hotel, to the game, to the tailgate. Fantastic stuff. PhillySportsTrips.com is where you can learn more about Philly Sports Trips, but you can enter the contest at allphly.com/PSTFanSweeps. Okay, enough rigmarole. Let's get down to business. Brass tacks. Is there anything at all you can learn about a defensive tackle in spring camp?
Not in particular.
Okay.
If they're there,
I agree.
Maybe, you can tell conditioning.
Do they know how to put shells on?
Sure. Look, Jordan Davis's body will be something people will see with the kind of condition that Jordan Davis is in. That they'll see, you'll be like, ooh, Jordan Davis looks leaner.
By the way, this was when I was out after the birth of Leah. When they picked up the option, the graphic that the social media team tweeted out was very funny. Did you notice this?
Extended or no?
Exercised. And it was just a picture of Jordan Davis running, and it just said exercise, 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 exercise. Like, yeah, we know that's what Vic's been asking him to do.
Yes, you got the point.
This is Jordan Davis sending this image to Vic every morning, like after his morning workout.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, look, it could be a lot worse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be the worst one for that?
Dead.
No, but that the team would put out like cut.
Suspended, commissioner's exempt.
Okay, yeah. So, what if they have the graphics ready for that one? But no, so Jordan Davis his physique is something that I think people will pay attention to. That's probably what you look for more in the D tackles. Although I am curious to see Ty Robinson on the field in these individual drills. You made the great point with Fran said terminated. That's probably a good one. Yeah, Fran made the good point. Like when you draft a 24-year-old he's older than Moro Ojima. When you draft him in the fourth round, the expectation is this guy comes in and plays and contributes right away. So I want to see Ty Robinson out there.
Okay. Now linebacker I think is very interesting this week. The most important person is Jihaad Campbell. But I don't expect that we're going to see him on the field. Is that fair?
No, I'm not expecting this to see him practicing. Maybe, but
maybe individual drills.
Yeah,
maybe.
but I'm not expecting it. No.
And so the question then is, who lines up next to Zack Baun? I mean, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is the incumbent. You would expect. Could it be Smile Mondon Jr.? Could it be somebody else entirely?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
I would think so.
But you had a good point. We had what's called a VOD in the business, a video on. It's a video on demand. So what that is YouTube. It's a video we do exclusively for like the YouTube. It's not a live show. It's extra content.
It's extra content.
It's extra content. Yeah.
We don't get paid for that. It's a VOD stands for video on demand.
Yes. So we have a VOD up where it's
very ornery dentist.
It's 8 minutes of us discussing OTAs. And you made the point that Vic Fangio knows what he likes in linebackers. And he identified Smile Mondon as a guy that he liked.
To be fair, he was also here when they drafted Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Jr. True. Look,
maybe he had less equity.
Yeah, Smile Mondon has some Oren Burks in him. So he plays the way Oren Burks plays. There's, I don't know. I can see Oren Burks when I see Smile Mondin. And that'll be a terrific outcome for Smile Mondin to become Oren Burks. So I am interested to see if he fills the Oren Burks role or if Jeremiah Trotter Jr. fills the Oren Burks role. I can't win.
As opposed to the whole.
My mind didn't even go there, Bo. I don't know what makes you think that. Yeah. Anyways, Oren Burks was a valuable player for the Eagles, a starter in the Super Bowl, starter throughout the postseason, signed a nice contract in Cincinnati. Smile Mondin, if he can become
I think we were underwhelmed by his contract in Cincinnati, right?
Oh, but he signed a multi-year deal. He only got 1 year.
Did you end up driving him out there?
No.
Bummer.
But yeah, I mean, I always enjoy catching up with Oren when I can.
I know, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And listen, this is, if Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is out there, how does he move in space in coverage? Like these,
Sure.
These are the things that are supposed to be the weaknesses in his game. So in this setting, for him to work on those things, let's see what he looks like.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. Not many linebackers either. So, you know,
yeah.
And one thing we know from Vic Fangio is that he likes to mix and match these guys, right? So he says he wants every pair to kind of work together, every pair that they would have on. Now, that's not OTAs.
Well, that's an important distinction. In camp,
he
likes to mix and match his guys. Once the season starts, he just wants his guys.
Yes, exactly.
But without knowing what the in-season combination is going to be, he wants everybody to be comfortable playing next to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cornerback. This feels like
this is a fun one.
The obvious, the most obvious, interesting one, and that is
Kelee Ringo. Your time is here. Kelee Ringo, you've been waiting. This is your third season. You were drafted as a developmental player. They let go Darius Slay, a 3-time captain. They didn't sign someone over you. This is your chance, Kelee Ringo. Kelee Ringo has a chance, an opportunity here to cement himself as a starting corner on the outside, or as a top 3 corner, I should say, on the outside. Along with that, I am curious to see if Cooper DeJean takes reps out there. But I'm fascinated to see how Kelee Ringo looks in year 3. Kelee Ringo is younger than Jahdae Barron, who was a first-round pick. If Kelee Ringo was in this draft, I think he could have been a first-round pick. Okay, I'll defer to Fran, the top draft expert in the business on that. But with the trajectory Kelee was on at Georgia, I know there are questions about him getting in and out of breaks, but this is a 4'3" guy at 6'2". Kelee Ringo is a guy I'm interested in watching.
And Kelee Ringo is a guy who, the height, weight, speed, you want to see him look good in these settings. Yes. He has looked good in these settings. He has been impressive running with A.J. Brown and showing that physicality. Sure. Both springs, I think, that we have seen him. Less so his rookie year, and really his training camp his rookie year is when he struggled. But last year in this setting, I thought he looked very good. And so, you want to see doesn't always have to be linear, but you want to see the improvement. And it's a huge year for him. You want to see what it looks like for sure.
And he has a new number. So you're curious about that as well, like how he looks in that.
Very curious. Yeah, that's very interesting.
I mean, number 7.
It's my favorite number.
Is that right? Big Mickey Mantle guy?
Mickey Mantle. All the Wolves wore 7.
I love that. Yeah. Mantle or Elway. You strike me more as a Mantle guy than an Elway guy.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. What about you? What number did the Bermans all have the same number, or was it?
No, different numbers.
Sibling specific.
Yeah, I wore number 5.
Okay. 5 will always love you.
Well, I have 5 siblings. That was one reason. Then Jalen Rose wore number 5 at Michigan.
Now we're getting to it.
Yeah, and then McNabb wore 5 when I was growing up. So, but it was mainly, and then I was rolling the Joe DiMaggio like as a ball player.
Oh.
And DiMaggio
as a ball player.
Yeah.
As opposed to.
Well, I don't know what Joe DiMaggio was like as a person, but I used to
betted Marilyn Monroe famously.
But no, there's if you go to Yankee Stadium, there's an expression that they always talk about, which is like if this might be the only time someone's watching you play, and so you owe it to them, and that always resonated with me. So I always found Joe DiMaggio endearing for that, and I've always respected consistency, and so 56-game hitting streak, and then interestingly, that's not that interesting, but my
I think if you go Yankee consistency, then Lou Gehrig is the one who.
True, but but
I came to work every single day.
True.
What was the anecdote you're about to tell?
No, but there was a time in high school when I was really into Dom DiMaggio. And so he wore glasses when he played. They called him the Professor.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a book.
A very underrated ball player.
Very underrated ball player.
Yeah.
And there was a book that I read when I was in high school that he was a big part of.
Boys of Summer, is that right? Or
no, it was like the Teammates or the Teammates.
What is it?
I think it was the Teammates.
But it's about that team.
Yeah.
I'm going to look like a real a-hole for not getting this.
The Teammates, a portrait of friendship.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ted Williams, Bobby Dorr, Dom DiMaggio.
Okay.
I remember that. Yeah. So it was a Halberstam book.
All right.
But then Cooper DeJean, I'm very
is he going to get some snaps outside? Very curious.
Very curious.
And then, what does Mac McWilliams look like?
Yeah.
How does he move?
Agree with you there.
That's an interesting one to me. Safety? Is it Drew Mukuba from day one?
What do you think?
I kind of think it might be. I think if I had to put my turkeys on it, I would say like 51 turkeys on Sidney Brown, 48 on Mukuba, and one on Tristan McCollum.
Wow.
Well, I mean, listen, Vic Fangio chose Tristan McCollum over Sidney Brown in the middle of the season last year, so it's not that crazy to think that, but it actually might be more like 48, 47, 5.
Yeah. I believe Tristan McCollum changed agents this offseason, so he's...
Pay me my money.
He's eager for a contract year.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's going to be Sidney Brown, first practice.
Okay.
But we'll see. Drew Mukuba is interesting.
And what does he look like? Yeah. I mean, how is he reading things? What's it like coming at him? So, yeah. I think very interested. Anything else?
I mean, I do want to see Lewis Cine out there.
Yeah.
Lewis, look, I understand. Okay, make fun of me, former first-round pick. The Eagles specifically signed Lewis Cine to their 53-man roster so they could have him for the offseason. Like, they carried him.
True, well said.
Yeah.
That was the point of signing him.
That was the point of signing him. So there's enough there that they are intrigued. Not that he's going to be on the team, but the whole this isn't a guy they signed to a futures deal. This is a guy that carried on their roster throughout the postseason so they could have him for this time of year. So I am curious to see Lewis Cine.
I agree. Anything else? There's one other thing that we haven't talked about.
Yeah, your boy, Avery Williams.
Your boy. I said offense.
What?
I said offense.
I didn't follow you.
I said, I said offense.
Is he on offense?
This is the callback. This is the... I said offense.
Yes. Okay. I don't think Nick sounded like that when he said it.
I mean, in my memory, that's
Nick's more of an enunciator. Nick was like, yeah, I said offense, like that.
I don't think it was that level of enthusiasm. It was much more playful.
Nick is no, it wasn't playful. It was forceful. You thought it was playful. It was, yeah, I said offense, like that.
No, that's angry. It was not like
that.
No,
it was.
I said offense.
It was make sure you write that down. That kind of thing. Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I said offense. Yes. There have been times when Jalen's told me something and I said, can I quote you on that? And he was like, please do. And so I think it was like that. It was Nick saying, write that down. Yeah, I said offense.
No, I think it was like, I have a vision for this guy that nobody else has even understood. And wait till you see. Yeah. I said offense.
So, yeah, but I am interested to see where Avery Williams is practicing during 7-on-7s.
Sure.
Is he just over there with Charlie and Jake and Braden and Clay?
Why did you go first names and then last name?
True.
That's what they call him, probably.
Yeah.
Not that. And Joe.
Michael, Tyler, and Joe. Yeah. So is he over there or is he with the position group?
There's no way he's going to be just with the specialists.
I don't know. Maybe he's just working on gunner moves and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. A little bit more to talk about in
overtime.
You came back with a vengeance on that overtime. a long weekend was good for you.
Yeah, it's good. It was a nice weekend.
What, you poo-poo it because you had one less day of work?
I had a nice weekend. I mean, not poo-pooing the weekend. It was a nice weekend. Spent great time with family.
Yeah.
But thrilled to be back here.
Felt like you were underselling or trying to brush aside the weekend.
No, I had an awesome weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, but thrilled to be back. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah. What's the highlight of your weekend?
Casey, we caught a fish yesterday.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, his first fish with his fishing pole that he got for Christmas.
Nice. Where do you fish?
We went to what's it called? What's it called?
What part of town? I can tell you.
No, it's out of town.
Oh.
It's, this is gonna bother me.
And what kind of fish?
Hold on.
A trout?
It was a little guy, little bluegill. Ridley Park.
Ah, okay. Delco.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was the highlight, probably.
On a rock?
On a rock?
Yeah, were you standing on a rock? Were you on the grass? Was your feet in the water?
No, it was a little footbridge.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're on the bridge. Nice.
Little footbridge.
Footbridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
On a rock?
You never stood on a rock to fish? Like there's a big rock on the edge of the water. I fished plenty of times on a rock.
Okay.
Fishing a rock. Yeah. Chat, that's not that weird, is it?
It's okay. Yeah, we had a good weekend. We had a good family time. How about you? What was the highlight?
Oh, spent a great time with my family, with my kids. And when I went to New York for a night for our anniversary and had a good meal.
How'd it go?
It was a great time. Yeah. Just
what's so funny?
It was just quality time. It was awesome. And then, but yeah, thrilled to be back here now.
What did you see?
We didn't see a show.
Oh,
we didn't see a show.
Where did you go to dinner?
Went to a Greek restaurant. Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, they can advertise on the show if they want.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And of course, this was in lieu of the actual anniversary, which is Thursday.
Which is Thursday. Yeah, our anniversary is on Thursday. So.
Well, we gotta mark that down and celebrate on the show.
I don't know if I celebrate it, but I'll celebrate it. Yeah, I mean.
What number is this?
9.
9.
Yes, 1 year away from the big one.
Nick Foles.
That's true.
Mm.
What?
Speaking of the big one.
Why does your mind go there?
It's just right there.
No, it's not. It is not. You are your sophomoric humor. It is not. I'm talking about a 10-year anniversary. It is not.
What are you going to do for the 10th?
I want to go to Europe. Yeah, so Paris or London, but the World Cup next summer is in the United States, so I want to be here for the World Cup. And so,
but that's not until later in the summer.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going away for a week in May.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll wait. OTAs. I'm not going away for a week during OTAs. I mean,
Emily, make him go away.
No,
for a week. You don't get to see all of the camp. You get 1 day. You're missing. You would miss 1 day.
But there's substantive things to talk about this time. I mean, no, it's like June, July. There's 4 weeks or 6 weeks when the Eagles are away. That's the time to go away. I don't know. We can worry about that next May and June, July.
I guess we will.
Yeah, but no, I'm excited. And next summer in Philly is gonna be awesome. This is like Emily and I were talking about our 10-year anniversary, and I was like, yeah, but the World Cup's here and the Major League Baseball All-Star Game's here. This is gonna be like such a great time next summer in Philly.
I mean, the World Cup is one thing, and that will be very fun. If you were in a normal conversation with someone and they was like, oh man, like I'm really excited to go away for my 10th anniversary, and the other person was like, yeah, but the MLB All-Star Game is going to be here. Like,
well, the last time I was here was what, 96? Is that right? Tyler would know. 96? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen every year.
Neither does your 10th anniversary.
No, it's true, but you can celebrate at different times. Anyways, I'm excited for the 9-year anniversary. And then
you know what else doesn't happen every year or every
What's
day?
that?
Throwing out the first pitch.
Great
of a baseball
job. I
game,
appreciate
Zack.
changing that. Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Howie Roseman throwing out the first pitch tonight.
I have a question. I have 2 questions.
Yes.
My first question is so Johnny Gaudreau's dad is also throwing out the first pitch
Yes.
tonight, right? There aren't enough home games to split those two up?
Yeah,
Why are they both doing it on the same night?
I agree. It might be based on scheduling for either one of them.
Okay.
I don't know the answer for that. That's a good question.
I'm just thinking, we're not talking about an 8-game home slate for your season. They got 81 of these bad boys.
I agree with you there.
Okay. Second question. How much prep do you think Howie has done for tonight?
Oh man, Howie's arm's sore right now. I bet Howie's been throwing in the backyard or at the park. Yeah, Howie likes to be prepared, and I imagine Howie's preparing for this.
Do you think he goes wind up or just
No.
step and throw?
Yeah, step and throw. Wind up first off. I think wind up will be a little too try hard there, right? So I think it's not lobbing it. I was doing the right hand because he's righty. I'm lefty. But yeah, I think it's a little ready break throw action, right?
Okay.
Yeah. How would you do it? Would you go to the mound? Are you allowed to go up on the mound?
I think you're usually not allowed to.
They're
go
not allowed on the mound?
Yeah, I mean, that would be...
Okay.
But I would be so tempted.
Yeah,
of course, I would want to
seriously.
go on the mound.
Seriously.
Yeah, I might just do it.
Would you
What
go,
are they going to do? Not let me do it again? I mean...
Would you go stretch?
No, I wouldn't go stretch. I would either go just step and throw or give it a little bit of a modified wind up, just a little bit of a rock and lift up the knee. Yeah. The thing is, Tyler, you tell me if you agree. I feel like wind up without a glove feels very awkward.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
You got to bring a glove.
No.
You don't bring a glove?
Bring a glove?
You're a grown man.
You have to. I mean,
no, you don't bring a glove out for the first pitch.
You don't. You want to bring a glove?
No.
Oh, I would bring a glove.
No, I think you can't.
No?
You got to go no glove.
Oh no! I mean,
have you ever seen someone with a glove?
I'm trying to think. It just seems so unnatural to throw without a glove.
Well, I agree with that. That's what. That's a bit of a.
It's like I'm used to taking the ball out of the glove.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, when if I'm playing catch, I
have you ever thrown BP without a glove? Like throwing batting practice, behind the L screen.
True. Yeah,
it's but it's weird because you do feel uncomfortable, like if you're behind the L screen.
Yeah.
I can't throw without the glove. I mean, I can, but I would go crow hop.
You would go crow hop?
Go crow hop.
Gonna launch one from center field?
What? From in front of the mound?
Yes. Yeah, get some juice in
What?
the throw.
That is unhinged.
Yeah, I don't know. That's unhinged.
Yeah.
I mean,
now, when you say crow hop, are you just talking
Not like
about?
exaggerate crow
Are you
hop.
just talking about like the double on the back foot, or are you talking about the full crow hop?
oh no, not the full crow hop. I just mean like
Either way, that is outrageous.
I throw better with a crow hop. I mean, I played outfield, so I'm used to the crow hop.
Yeah, but you didn't do it for that
Yeah.
short of a throw.
True. Yeah, when I play catch with my son, I don't do crow hop. Yeah.
What are you trying to do? Blow the catcher back? Like,
I mean, I feel like I have a better chance of throwing it, strike down the middle with the crow hop.
this is so funny. You're showing up for the first pitch. You're bringing your glove, and you're going crow hop from 50 feet.
All right, yeah. All right, I wouldn't do crow hop.
Watch out, people in the stands.
I wouldn't do crow hop. Fair. I wouldn't do crow hop, but
People are saying you show up in full uniform with stirrups and cleats.
But I would probably bring my glove. I would bring my glove out there. Yeah. It says Jerry. I see Fran says Jerry Seinfeld brought the glove. Reed was pitching to me last night.
Okay.
And he was
Is the season over or still going?
Still going.
Okay. We got the playoffs tomorrow night.
Oh, nice. Good luck.
Yeah.
He was going out the stretch. I was like, there's no one on base, but he's more comfortable throwing on the stretch.
Yeah, I think that's not unusual for
that
kids
age.
as they're
Exactly.
learning.
Yeah.
Because there's more moving parts
Exactly.
to the wind up.
Yeah, we were having fun. He thought I was a little tough with the strike zone.
And I know you. I would imagine you to be calling very strict balls
Yes.
and strikes.
Yeah.
It's like
And
that
then-
kid who hit hit the top of the cage at the kickball party.
Oh, tell me about that.
This was your thing, right? Like
Was-
you,
Oh yeah. Okay, I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's good
very
memory.
much-
2 years
yeah,
ago. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. But no, I wouldn't do crow hop, come to think of it. I'm just, but I would, I have more, juice in the throw with the crow hop.
Very exciting. We are approaching the return of softball.
Ah, very exciting.
Yeah. Got to defend our title, just like the Eagles.
Shortstop.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Shortstop at third.
We're a little bit more flexible with the batting order. It's, we want to let everybody hit, and you want to have different pockets. But yeah, we'll be playing shortstop. Come on. That's what I'm there for.
I'm excited to report back. You'll be on paternity leave, but you'll text us updates.
Not for all of it.
Okay, yeah, you'll text us updates. The listeners are gonna want to know what's going on.
Sure. All right. You got any more Jerry Seinfeld thoughts?
I was watching actually a clip last night that I sent to Emily about, from Jerry Seinfeld when he was saying that if he goes a week or 2 weeks without stand up, he gets uneasy, and he doesn't know what to do with himself. And so I wasn't.
It's like writing for you.
I wasn't comparing myself to Jerry Seinfeld, but I was showing that.
But is that for you? Is that the act of writing? Is it just working in general?
No, probably working in general. Yeah, working in general, probably. Yeah, like doing a show, that kind of thing. Back when I was at the Inquirer, they would tell you get away after minicamp. They're like, take the next 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You're on. We don't want to see your byline unless a player gets arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Get away. And I remember I didn't know what to do with myself. I was trying. I was like, can I cover this Phillies game? Can I do this story? They're like, no. Actually, the union says you can't. But that, and then when I was at the Athletic, it was like the same deal. We had a lot of vacation time, but we were getting judged based on subscriptions we brought in. And so I was always like, well, I was paranoid. I'm missing subscription opportunities. So yeah, I feel like it's like a muscle. If I go a month off of doing the show, I feel like my muscle would atrophy a bit. Although one could argue I could probably be better from it sometimes too. So we'll see.
It's just the rest that.
Yeah. Although I'm working on, we don't need to make this about me. I'm working on I'm going into bed earlier.
Okay.
But one thing, so I'm falling asleep, but then I wake up. So the past 2 nights.
Yeah, you texted me at 3:45 this morning.
Yeah. So I'm waking up at the end. I'm watching the end of the game, so I'm falling back to sleep. And then I get up again at 3 o'clock, and then I'm up for 2 hours.
For 2 hours?
Yeah. And
then you get back down for an hour?
For a half hour, an hour.
Oof.
Yeah. So I need to work on.
What are you doing in those 2 hours?
If anyone has any, I'm reading typically.
Okay.
If anyone has any ideas for.
But reading on your phone?
Or Kindle.
Okay.
If anyone has any ideas for falling back asleep, please let me know.
I think the reading is good as long as it's not a screen.
Yeah, true. But I can't read a book. Then I got to turn the light on. Yeah. That's going to wake up Emily.
I guess you could use your phone light, but then that's the screen too.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. I feel often the opposite, that I come back better with time off.
Ah, okay.
I feel like some of the best stories that I've written have been after a prolonged break.
Well said.
I don't know. There's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, what I've learned from past experiences, don't burn a good story on.
Well, that's true.
On July 8th.
That's definitely
right.
True.
Hold it for when the interest is higher.
Yeah. What makes us different is what makes us beautiful. Zach.
Well said.
But the good news is we can agree on one thing.
What's that?
Harrison Bryant.
Harrison Bryant. Fair enough.
Bryant Bros.
There you go.
All right. We're coming back tomorrow, 2 o'clock. We're going to hear from Kevin Patullo tomorrow. We're going to get to see these players on the field, hopefully outside, but we'll see. So it'll be me and Zach at the start of the show. We're going to have Fran join when Zach has to go watch some press conferences and report back. Fun week, actual stuff going on. Thursday, Friday back as well. Same bad time, same bad channel. For Zach, Berman, and Tyler for making things happen. We will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening. Comment below. Let us know how badly you want to watch this chess game. And for all of us here, as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.